Hello, my name is Chi Din. I'm with Avignon Realty Coaching and Training. And today I will go over the addendum for seller's disclosure of information on lead-based paint and lead-based paint hazard as required by federal law. And this is approved by the Texas Real Estate Commission. First, we're going to look at concerning the property at the street address and city will go on this line. Then paragraph A, lead warning statement. So every purchaser of any interest in residential real property on which a residential dwelling was built prior to 1978 is notified that such property may present exposure to lead from lead-based paint that may place young children at risk of developing lead poisoning. And lead poisoning in young children may cause permanent neurological damage, including learning disabilities, reduced intelligence quotient, behavioral problems, and impaired memory. And lead poisoning also poses a particular risk to pregnant women. And the seller of any interest in residential real property is required to provide the buyer with any information on lead-based paint hazards from risk assessments or inspections in the seller's possession, and notify the buyer of any known lead-based paint hazards. A risk assessment or inspection for possible lead paint hazard is recommended prior to purchase. That is lead warning statement, paragraph A. And here's the in bold notice: inspector must be properly certified as required by federal law. Paragraph B, seller's disclosure. 1. Presence of lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazard. Check one box only. Right, so there's A and B. A is known lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazards are present in the property, and explain where. And then B, seller has no actual knowledge of lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazard in the property. We have 2, records and reports available to seller. Check one box only. There's A and B. A is seller has provided the purchaser with all available records and reports pertaining to lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazard in the property. List documents here. B, seller has no reports or records pertaining to lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazard in the property. That's paragraph B. Paragraph C, buyer's rights. Check one box only. 1, buyer waives their opportunity to conduct a risk assessment or inspection of the property for the presence of lead-based paint or lead-based paint hazards. 2, within 10 days after the effective date of this contract, buyer may have the property inspected by inspector selected by buyer. If lead-based paint or lead-based paint hazards are present, buyer may terminate this contract by giving seller written notice within 14 days after the effective date of this contract, and the earnest money will be refunded to buyer. Paragraph D, buyer's acknowledgement. Check applicable boxes. 1, buyer has received copies of all information listed above. Buyer has received the pamphlet, Protect Your Family from Lead in Your Home. Paragraph E, broker's acknowledgement. Brokers have informed seller of seller's obligations under 42 USC 4852D to provide buyer with the federally approved pamphlet on lead poisoning prevention. B, complete this addendum. C, disclose any known lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazard in the property. D, deliver all records and reports to buyer pertaining to lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazard in the property. And then E, provide buyer a period of up to 10 days to have the property inspected, and F, retain a completed copy of this addendum for at least 3 years following the sale. Brokers are aware of their responsibility to ensure compliance. Paragraph F, certification of accuracy. The following persons have reviewed the information above and certify to the best of their knowledge that the information they have provided is true and accurate. Buyer and seller sign and date here. Then also other broker and listing broker sign and date right here on the bottom. And that's the addendum for sellers disclosure of information on lead-based paint and lead-based paint hazards as required by federal law. If you have questions or anything that's unclear for you regarding this addendum, I invite you to speak to your mentor and broker. Thank you.